Hello, Milo. Milo. Hang on now, I wasn't ready for you. I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready for this. This is not what I signed up for. Anyway. Hello, loves. Hello. Where are we? Hanging upside down, are we? Give me 1 second. 1 second, love. 1 second. 1 second. 1 second. The locusts are still flying. They're still flying, love. All right. Well, he had some time left. Remember, we gave him time, and he pulled the trigger. Remember, he pulled the trigger. Cy telegraphed it. He did. Cy telegraphed it. Interesting. Like he knew it was going to happen, right? All right, whatever. So where should we start? Of course, everybody's discussing this. Still can't get my fucking channel remonetized. Thanks, YouTube. Now it's saying reuse content once again. Before it was what was it? No, it was reuse content, and then it was I don't know, like disparaging or something, and now it's back to reuse content. I fucking hate you, YouTube. So anyway, let's start with, of course, the Goncalves. Of course they have to chime in on this. They have to chime in on everything, right? The other families don't have to do this except for this family. So let's read their little statement here. Do we want to read this? Yeah. Oh, we read Mr. Baker's story, and he must be so proud of himself for speaking with Mr. Kohlberger, because the story didn't have much else in it other than a guilty man claiming he is innocent once again. Nothing in the story or in Kohlberger's statement does he allude to the fact that he did not, quote, knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently admit to murdering the 4 victims of this tragedy. Quite to the contrary. Right. I don't know what can. I'm ready to get off it. Ready to get up. Fuck off, YouTube. Anyway. So. But, well, let's read his words. I don't fucking know. Is there a mole in the garden? I don't know. Welcome, welcome, welcome. All right, let's see if we can read this here, guys. Yeah, it's a bit sloppy, but yeah, we'll see if we can read it. All right, so this is the affidavit written by Kohlberger. This is from him. So let's read this. Hang on. Oh, fuck. Ugh. So where are we at? Hereby declared that during attorney-client discussions, most of which included all members of Brian Kohlberger's immediate family, petitioner was convinced to falsely confess to capital murder and felony burglary by coercion, disinformation, false promises, and the withholding of exculpatory discovery. The following is material to the inception of the plea. Wait. Sure. Counselor's failure to inform petitioner of exculpatory discovery received during plea discussions, namely clumps of unknown hair found in Chapin's hand, as well as a failure of further inquiry. Petitioner was convinced that actual guilt was not an important factor in considering a plea acceptance. Death row was imminent and advised to lie. Petitioner was to gain a, quote, legal victory in entering a false plea. False plea. Right? Number 3. A gross misrepresentation of and promises regarding what a life sentence would immediately afford petitioner, and a gross misrepresentation of death row in Idaho, including in an elaborate, fabricated story of counselors' horrific experience touring an actual, I guess that's 8x8, death row cell, right? All communicated to petitioner and his family, allegedly by the Idaho Department of Corrections, through Ann Taylor, thus constituting threats and promises made to induce a plea agreement. Brian Kohlberger. 722. Good so far. That's his petition. That's his affidavit. That is straight from him. To get this, to have, well, of course, the goal here is to, as we know, is to have a trial. That is the goal. So, anyway. So I want to go to the New York Times because he talked to the New York Times. Good. And I guess that's who the Goncalves family is referring to as Mr. Baker. I guess. They're so jaded about everything in their miserable fucking lives that who knows with these people? Christy loses a fucking expensive diamond and gold ring in a casino somewhere, and she's bitching about that. You know what I mean? Who knows with these fucking people? They're always bitching about something. They just can't shut their mouth. You lose a daughter horrifically, and you just can't shut up. You just gotta keep on talking about your stupid day-to-day bitching about stuff, right? Well, that is Casa de Gonzalez. The other families. The other families are probably thinking, well, I mean, after Stacy Chapin and her bullshit. But anyway, the other families are probably thinking, does this family ever shut up? Jesus. Do they ever shut up? But of course they have to chime in. Of course. And say, Brian Kohlberger is the mosquito that you just can't get rid of. Anyway, let's carry on. Now, can this be denied? Sure. Of course. Yeah, of course. We'll see what happens. Fuck. Hang on. Excuse me. We'll get on to the New York Times. All right. So here we go. So, this is Kohlberger. This is the New York Times. Excuse me. So, yeah, over a year later, it is self-evident that in Me versus the State, justice was not served. Unanswered questions seemed to multiply with each piece of discovery unsealed, and the public demands the truth. Unfortunately, the truth shall never be derived from the state's myopic narrative, a work of fiction which has yet to evolve since Brett Payne's PCA was released nearly 4 years ago. Remember Brett Payne's PCA? Okay. And its faulty premises were never challenged at trial. Well, right. Circumnavigated by a broken plea, the trial never provided the public the clarity conducive to closure, and justice shall remain abjectly miscarried unless that plea is withdrawn. I hereby declare my intention to enter a not guilty plea and welcome the state the opportunity to prove their case at trial, as well as to again file for the death penalty. Remember, my actual innocence is my truth, and the plea hinged on by false promises and blatant disinformation must be withdrawn. Thank you for all who believe in my innocence and continue to critically analyze the case. I send my love to my family, who have never wavered in their belief in who I am, their belief in my innocence. There you are. That was yesterday. So. There you go. Anyway, quick break. Yes. So, what do the Goncalves family do? Well, they try to minimize this. By saying this. Let me pull back up. So they try to minimize. All right. Oops. By saying this. I am sure there will be a hearing, as that is how the legal process works, and the defendant will get another day in court. A nice break from his solitary confinement, getting to go for a ride, maybe some different food, photos taken, and the attention all back on him and his, quote, innocence. The real issue is that if as much energy was put into honoring the victims in this case as trying to set a guilty man free, that is not what's happening here, by the way. But this is Casa de Gonzalez. The real issue is that if as much energy was put into honoring the victims, in this case as trying to set a guilty man free, there would be statues or statutes. I can't tell which one, guys. Hey, guys, are we talking about statues or statutes? Anyway, oh my God. Why did you have to lead me back to Little House on the Prairie? Why? I know that they can't even write. Statues on every corner. Now, hang on. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm totally wrong. Statue. I could be wrong. Statue. Okay. Well, they're not. I'm wrong. Statue. No, that's statute, right? That's statute. Wait. All right. Not Little House yet. Should be Little House. But wait, hang on. I just want to see something. So when I put this in, watch this statue. Oh, so like when I put statutes in. That's a statute. A statute. That's a statute. A written law passed by a legislative body. But we're thinking of statues. Anyway. Statutes. Statutes. Anyway. Statues. Statues. A statue. Anyway, never mind. There will be statues of the victim on every corner with parks and days honoring their ultimate sacrifice, their lives, at the hands of a narcissist. There's that word again. Regardless of how this turns out, our family is 100% ready. An actual trial this time? Let's go. We are confident he will get the death penalty that he escaped by pleading guilty the first time. Just an absolute waste of time and taxpayers' money. It's a disgrace. I'm in disgrace. Schoolboy's in disgrace. Disgrace. So we are moving on. Laugh out loud. Okay. I guess I better get me a Death Row Record shirt for every day of the week now. Well, isn't that nice? Jesus. But here's the problem. You don't move on. You don't move on, Casa de Gonzalez. You haven't moved on. You have not moved on since this all what happened. Because you know what you are? You're trolls at this point. You're trolls. You may not think of yourself in that way, but you're trolls. Well, they've been trolls for a little while here, but yeah. Anyway, whatever. So anyway, there you go. I'm sure we're going to hear a lot more from them, even though they're moving on. And see, you're not moving on because you got to get your Death Row Record shirt for every day of the week now. Right? That's not moving on, by the way. That's not moving on. That's not letting things go. That's not acceptance. Anyway. Right? Welcome, everybody. So, YouTube... You cocksuckers that you are. No. Anyway, what do you make of all this? Quick break. But what do you make of all this? Do you think Bill Thompson really wants to go to trial? Are you kidding me? I thought he retired. Didn't that guy retire? Didn't Evil Santa retire? He doesn't want a trial. Are you kidding me? He'll kill him. He knows he doesn't have any evidence. He's praying. He is praying to God. He is praying to God out there in the Christchurch. He's praying to God that Hitler, well, you know what Hitler's going to do here. So you know what Hitler's going to do here. Do you think Hitler wants to go to trial and look like a complete fucking fool? No. Hey, we all want to see a trial. We all want to see a trial. We should have saw a trial in October last year. Yeah, we should have saw it. Of course. But as you and I know, Idaho was not fucking ready for a trial. No way. They're not even ready now. Even if there was one. Well. We'll see what happens. I mean, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. I mean, Hitler, of course, Hitler is not a judge for this kind of case. Thompson is not a prosecutor for this kind of case. We all know that. We've known that. These people are not equipped to handle a trial like this. So they absolutely do not want this to go to trial. Absolutely. they know they're lost. Again, Hitler's going to look like a complete buffoon because he's not a homicide judge. So, you know what I mean? Anyway, we'll see what happens. Now, if there is exculpatory evidence that has come out that wasn't present when Kohberger pled guilty, and if that evidence is indeed exculpatory evidence and it's known, well, yeah. I think you would have to vacate the plea, and I think you would have to order a trial. That's what I would do. I think you'd have to do that. Prove it at trial. So all these people are like, well, he took the plea because he was so afraid of the death penalty. Well, I don't think so. I told you that in the beginning. No, he didn't do it for that reason. Ann Taylor, of course. Ann Taylor's all over this. Of course she is. Ann Taylor's absolutely all over this too. She's part of the problem. As we know. She must have said something. You know what, Brian? No, I don't. But I'm like, look, there's no way I can defend you properly. Here's what an 8x8 death penalty cell looks like. Do you really want to be here? You're not going to win at trial. Take the plea. Just take the fucking plea. I don't know, but... Well, that's true. Anyway, all right. There you are. Let's see what happens. We'll see what happens. Hey, let's vacate the plea. Let's set a trial date, and let's rock and roll, baby. Now, Cy Ray, you're right. Cy Ray, which is interesting because Cy Ray goes on social media and of course bad mouths another defense expert in this case. He bad mouths him, Turvey, right? Bad mouths him. Yeah. Even though Cy Ray said this most likely is going, there's something going to be happening here. There's going to be an appeal in this case. And he was right. So, he knew that. Anyway. Maybe. I don't know. It's that time. He was pressured into falsely confessing. Kohlberger alleges that his attorneys withheld potentially exculpatory evidence, misled him about the consequences of pleading guilty, and relied on threats and false promises to persuade him to accept the deal. The petitioner was convinced to falsely confess. Nice little pop-up there. Right. Falsely confess. And felony burglary. By coercion, disinformation, false promises, and withholding of exculpatory discovery. The following is material to the inception of the plea. Right, and then he goes on. This is most important. Withholding of exculpatory discovery. The Goncalves forgot to put that in their little Facebook post. I don't see Ann Taylor playing chess. I agree. He needs a well, maybe not a new defense team, but he definitely needs a new lead defense attorney. Absolutely. For sure. She well, we are she should not lead this case anymore. Again, I know he's representing himself here in the affidavit, but yeah, she should no longer be anywhere near this at this point, in my opinion. Yep. Good. Yeah, I think you're right. I think he did request new counsel in the affidavit he filled out. I think you're correct. Interesting. I don't know what Cyray's deal is. I don't know. What do you do with it? What do you do with something like that? I mean, first of all, we got to see what happens with this. Got to see what happens with this. Again, doesn't mean anything. I mean, can be shot down. No, you're not. No, you weren't. There's no evidence that there. You know, whatever they try to, whatever they're going to say to try to get out of this. Yeah. So. All right. Welcome all. Welcome all. Apparently nobody... here's the problem, guys. I'm not you. Not my guard. But the problem is nobody wants to really try to understand what happened in this case. Nobody. The Goncalves, the Casa de Gonzalez, they don't. Nobody wants to really try to figure out what actually happened in this case, guys. That is the saddest part about this whole thing. Whether he did it, didn't do it, had help doing it, nobody didn't do it at all. It was Dylan and her friends. It was Dylan and Quinn Kelly. Nobody wants to really know here what happened. That's the sad part, right? You say, okay, well, everything that we've been told, this guy did it. He pleads guilty to doing it. But there's so much bullshit in this case. You know, it's like, well, it's too much to think about the other stuff. So we have to go with what Evil Bill Thompson told us. We have to believe that. Right? We have to believe it. Because the opposite, it's going to fry your brain out. It's much easier to again, we talked about this a long time ago. It's much easier to believe this lone wolf character, right? We have a name, a face. We don't have any evidence. Okay, well, barely any. whatever. So anyway. So Bill Thompson, if this does miraculously go to trial, which of course we hope it does, Bill Thompson is going to be shitting bricks on that knife sheath DNA. He's going to be shitting bricks on it. Because that's the only thing he has. That's it. He's got nothing else. So I really hope it goes to trial. I really do. I know Hitler has to get out of the way of this thing. Hitler is going to have to get out of the way of this thing. He's not going to do that. Hitler is going to go down with the Titanic if he has to. He's a bitter, old, inbred judge in Idaho. He has never been a part of a case like this in his entire judging history. He's a traffic judge. You know, this son of a bitch probably should have retired 10 years ago. This fucker. All right, but anyway, the point of that, my rant of that is, Hitler has to get out of the way of this thing. And he is not going to do that. He is going to look like a complete fool that he is. And Cy Ray alluded to that too. He alluded to that, in his opinion, his rulings, a lot of them would have been overturned on appeal. So, now he's not a judge, I'm just saying. But, I hope she's feeling good, Sir Equinox. I hope she's feeling real good. I hope she's getting ready. She better get ready. Pick out her outfits. I don't know. And Stacy Chapin's another one. Boy, if this actually turns into a trial again, well, guess what? Stacy Chapin, you're actually going to have to get off your fucking ass. I know you don't want to. Okay. I know you don't want to get off your ass, Stacy Chapin. I know it. But that's another reason why I want to see it to fucking go to trial. I want to see your miserable fucking ass there. You didn't want to go there for the preliminary. You didn't want to go there for any of the other hearings involved in this case. But again, I'd love to see you have to go to court. Yeah, fuck off. Well, we'll see. I mean, if there is a new trial, they're going to have to. They're absolutely going to have to. So, they're going to have to. Whether they like it or not. Unless you want to just cut out everything that they said. You have to have Mortensen. You have to have the Hobbit. You're going to have all these people. You're going to have to. Because unless you decide whatever they said was not right, or you have to put them. They're going to have to be on trial. They're going to have to be on the stand. Again, with Dylan Mortensen would be very easy to discredit. You can discredit Mortensen rather easily. I mean, you can pick from any of the 4 or 5 interviews that she already conducted. You can pretty much pick whatever you want from these interviews, and you will discredit her rather easily on the stand. All you have to do is pick one thing like life is but a dream, and then I don't know, 12/1/2022. Life is still but a dream. I still don't know what's real or what's not real. So you can discredit Dylan Mortensen rather quickly, okay? You can. Absolutely, obviously. Because, again, why? Because her stories don't make any sense. That's why. So, anyway, and from interview to interview, they change. So, anyway, the point is, you can discredit Mortensen rather easily on the stand. She would not be hard at all. Because she's gonna act. If you get Mortensen on the stand, let's say there is a new trial, you get Mortensen on the stand at this point, she is gonna come off like, she's not gonna come off like grabby pants. No, she's not gonna come off like grabby pants. But so she's gonna appear more confident and more sure of herself. However, you're going to hit her with all the other bullshit that she mentioned. And when she tries to explain herself out of it, that's when you got her. Because that's what Mortensen is going to do. Mortensen is going to try to explain her discrepancies in her testimony. That's what Mortensen is going to do. But she's going to, you can't do that. See, you're gonna get a hit over and over again. So anyway, the point is, Mortensen is going to be easy to discredit, very easy. But the point is, with Dylan Prime here, with Mortensen, yes, I know she's easy to discredit on the stand in a trial. I know that. However, my goal. Yes, I want to discredit her. That's goal number one. But I also have a second goal. And that second goal is I want to keep her on the stand for as long as possible. Days, a week. I want her to talk and talk and talk and talk. That's my secondary objective. Seriously. That's what I would try to do. I do that with Dylan Mortensen. I do that with Bethany Funk and Hunter Johnson and Emily Allant and all the players. I do that with every single one of them. Well, you can't. Then anything that she can't plead the fifth. She can't plead the fucking fifth. Then anything that was used based on her statements to convict Bryan Kohberger, they would be thrown out. You can't do that. You cannot do that. You cannot do that. No. You cannot convict somebody based on, somebody's statements, and then they withdraw their statements, and then have a trial. No. No. So, no, Mortensen has to be on that stand. There's no way for her to get out of it, and there's no way for the Hobbit to get out of it if there's a trial, and there's no way for Emily Allant to get out of it, and there's no way for Hunter Johnson, the Lovebirds, to get out of it. There is no way for anybody to get out of it. Give me a minute. Give me a minute. In my affidavit of arrest, because I'm a bulbous creation, remember, a great portion of my affidavit to arrest Mr. Kohberger was built on Dylan Mortensen's statements. I chose to put her testimony, her eyewitness testimony, into my probable cause, my affidavit. Now, we know bulbous creation isn't the brightest thing in the world, okay? But that's what he did. And you and I have heard all of her interviews. And yes, she is a fucking whack job. So Mr. Brett Payne, now remember, this is the same detective who wanted to compare ancient Palouse soil that can be found in 7 other states that is 1 million years old. Okay? This is the same Brett Payne who thought he was a weatherman, and he knew what the weather was because he went back and researched this meteorology shit. And he figured that on the morning of the murders, it was foggy out. I love you, Brett Payne, you bulbous creation. And he was the lead investigator. Okay. Moscow, I love you. Don't forget bulbous creation. Anyway, that was his affidavit. And again, a good portion of that was built around a fucking psychopath named Dylan Mortensen. She can't tell times. She doesn't know what date is. She doesn't know if she's hallucinating or not. She doesn't know if she's drunk or not. She doesn't know if she's walking through walls. She doesn't know if she's awake. She doesn't know if she's dreaming. She doesn't know if she went outside to get a banana split at the fucking Dairy Queen. This is the person that you're basing your affidavit of arrest on. Dylan Mortensen. So, yes, you're going to have a field day with this. At trial. If you're a good defense attorney, you will. So Brett Payne, you're telling me that you built part of your affidavit of arrest on Dylan Mortensen, who says in her interviews, she essentially does not know if she was dreaming or if she was awake. Is that correct? Yes. That's what I did. Bulbous creation. That's what I did. Now, again, my hope for him is he's shoveling shit somewhere in Siberia. That's my hope for him. Because he's definitely not a fucking homicide detective. He never was. And Moscow police should not have a police department. Remember these things. And that I will never waver on that. Ever. Or how about this? Chief Fry, or whoever, who interviewed The Hobbit on 11/16. So Bethany Funk tells you that she heard a firework, it sort of explode, and it was and the sparks from the firecracker, they were coming down towards her door, and she saw that, right? Right? You're going to ask the Hobbit this too. When you have the Hobbit on the stand, that's going to be even funnier. This is something that you and I always wanted to see ever since last year, right? We were envisioning all of this. And I hope to God, Smiley Hob, that we do get a trial. Because it's going to be fucking glorious. It is going to be glorious. It's going to be glorious. It's going to be glorious if there's a good defense team. If we have a defense team that is good, then this would be glorious to watch. If we get Ann Taylor, we're going to pull out our hair every single day of the trial. We'll pull out our fucking hair because of Ann Taylor. Guaranteed. I was pulling out my hair with Ann Taylor just watching her through some of the goddamn hearings. I was pulling my fucking hair out with her. Seriously. I was pulling my hair out with her. Like, grow a backbone, bitch. Jesus. Let her work her other stupid side. Let her work her other side shit that she's gonna just have people plead guilty to. Just let her do that shit. Okay, that's all she's gonna do anyway. That's all. That's her function. Her function is to get people to plead guilty. Okay, that's her function. So. I hope so. I hope that's true. All right, hang on. All right. 2 minutes. 1 minute. 1 minute. The vampire and the evil Santa Claus must conspire once more. And then I don't know what happens from there. I guess we have to shoot it on up the line. Hitler has to go. All right. nuts. Yeah, you can't do that. He has to have counsel if he wants it. My hope was that they could accrue enough money to actually hire a defense attorney to represent him. That was my hope. But oh dear. Well, we'll see what happens. We'll see. We know. We should see a trial. The locust, baby. Look, the locust, they're still flying, baby. The locusts haven't landed just quite yet. They have not. Custard creams, yeah, sure. I think so. like gelato? The fall. Burning evidence. Burning evidence. Prove it then. Prove it. I still don't know about the clump of hair in Ethan's head. I'm more concerned about what appears to be hair underneath the bed. I'm more concerned about that. That wasn't tested. Anyway. Yeah. But anyway, that's Act 1. We'll do a little bit more, guys. We'll do a little bit more, but I think you like this. I think you like this, though. Now, YouTube's gonna call this reuse content. All right. Anyway, we are the greatest. We are the greatest. Oh, boo-hoo-hoo. Boo-hoo-hoo. This is nothing more than an attempt for Brian to get people to talk about him again. The sad part is, nobody is having a better day than those who worship Brian Koberger and stand on his innocence at the expense of the victims' families. Surviving victims, and above all, the victims themselves. On the other end, the victims' families, surviving roommates, and others who were impacted by this case see their nightmare continue. Okay. All right. You just kind of said the same thing. I've been in this subreddit for a few weeks looking for good, productive conversation. But it's apparent that this sub is filled with trolls, rage baiters, and straight-up lunatics. That, are you talking about me? I take that personally now. All right, baby. Hey, I am the greatest. Anyway, I won't be participating here any longer. And while part of me hopes that this case goes to trial, no, it doesn't. This case goes to trial, and that Brian Koberger's guilt is put on display for everyone to see. I know Eddie Ryan likes to eat fish and chips, and Mrs. John will not give up the war. I know it won't change the minds of those who are 100% convinced of his innocence. This will get shot down, and BK will disappear back into obscurity. Oh my God. Hey. Is it midnight yet, baby? Hey, Mrs. John away. Hey. All right. Oh, then we get another one that says, this is Tiger Cattle one. I didn't realize this subreddit had more or less devolved into a 4chan adjacent Kohlberger fan cesspool. It's kind of sad to see. And then, sorry you feel that way. It's better than being brainwashed by a S predator. Okay. I'm not sure who we're talking about there on that one, but anyway, yeah. Oh dear. Funny. All right. Anything else? Well, I don't know. Let's see. Yes. There is a code for it. We do have the petitioner, new documents. Okay, sure. All right, an affidavit of support of counsel. Petition for post-conviction relief. Motion and affidavit in support for appointment of counsel. Motion and affidavit in support for appointment of counsel. Okay. Cool. And this is Kohlberger. Now, yeah, so we'll read this. You off pudding. You off pudding. That's right, Seattle Rain. How did you know that? Did you guess my password? All right. Damn, I have to reset it. Fuck. Now, where's my goddamn pipe? Who took my pipe? You took my pipe? Well, goddamn you all. Goddamn you. Goddamn you all. Oh dear. It's like this. Then we get into this shit. Listen. Then we get into this, right? Is that right? Anyway, we're getting there. We getting there. It all come together. Yes, it will. We'll read that real quick. Yeah. Something like that, Master Mage. Something like that. Something like that. Banana pudding. It's banana pudding. All right. Let's read it. Let's read it. Where are we at? 120. All right, 120. Let's read this. Support for appointment of counsel. Kohlberger. Currently incarcerated. Well, yeah. So, yeah. I mean, this is what it is. So, we're petitioning for a right. The issues to be presented in this case may become too complex. Lacks the knowledge and skill needed to represent himself, right? Yeah, of course. Yeah, this is what it is. Plaintiff and defendant required assistant plaintiff. July 22nd. I'm at the Idaho Maximum Security Institution under the care of the warden, D. Governor. All right. I'm currently residing at the Idaho Maximum Security Institution under the care and custody and control of Warden D. Governor. Right on, Governor. I'm indigent and do not have any funds. Oh, God, again? Do not eat funds to hire private counsel. Fuck. Well, it's gonna fuck you. All right, fine. That's it. July 22nd. To the Latah County Prosecuting Attorney William Jennings and William Thompson and Ashley. Oh, you're still there? Oh, God. Where else are you going to go? You can't go back to the bowling alley. No, sorry. So there's that. What else? Fine. Okay, I see that. There's two of them. Why? This is the 27th. Goldberger. All right. All right. July 22nd. Why? Same fucking thing. Anyway, you're right. So he's seeking counsel. So there you go. Goodbye, Anne. Goodbye, Anne. Goodbye, Anne. Okay, so yeah, he's right. So ineffective counsel, that's what he's going for, right? Ineffective assistance of counsel during criminal proceedings. Plea not knowingly or voluntarily entered because it was induced by unkept promises. Plea not voluntarily entered because of threats asserted by petitioner's legal counsel. Okay, like what? Interesting. Plea not voluntarily entered because of threats asserted by petitioner's legal counsel. Interesting. I don't think he's defending himself. I just think that he's trying to get new counsel. So I mean, he's filing this on his own. No, so not really. That's interesting now. Because of threats asserted by my legal counsel. Threats asserted. All right, that's interesting. I wonder what those would be. Okay, so this is interesting. If your application is based upon the failure of counsel to adequately represent you, state concisely and in detail what counsel failed to do in representing your interests. Well, A, failure to disclose or review exculpatory evidence. For example, unknown hair in Chapin's hand during plea discussions. B, counselor's insistence that petitioner's plea need not be truthful despite petitioner's vehement denial of actual guilt. C, promises made by Ann Taylor regarding the status, inadequate contact, death. Is that the next line? Wait a minute. Immediate contact visits, freedom of movement, employment, and elaborate lives of death row life. Okay. Interesting. Are you seeking leave to proceed in forma pauperis? I don't know. That is, requesting the proceeding be at county expense. Yep, of course. Are you requesting the appointment of counsel to represent you in this case? You must fill out a motion for the appointment of counsel and supporting affidavit, as well as motion and affidavit fee waiver. Yes. Yeah. State specifically the relief you seek. A withdrawal of a guilty plea. A withdrawal of a guilty plea and new counsel. New counsel. Don't forget that. All right. So that gets mailed off again. It's affidavit of facts in support of post-conviction petition. All right. Oh dear, oh dear. Yeah. Okay, yeah. And tell me about the exculpatory evidence. Petitioner was convinced that actual guilt was not an important factor in considering plea acceptance. Death row was imminent and advised to lie. Petitioner was to... I don't know what that is. Petitioner was to gain a, quote, legal victory in entering a false plea. A gross misrepresentation of and promises regarding what a life sentence would immediately afford petitioner, and a gross misrepresentation of death row in Idaho, including an elaborate fabricated story of counselor's horrific experience touring an actual 8x8 death row cell. All communicated to me and my family, allegedly, by the Idaho Department of Corrections through counsel and Taylor, thus constituting threats and promises made to induce a plea agreement. Interesting. That's in black, by the way. I'm not sure. Induced. Interesting. Yeah, for sure. Welcome, everybody. All my dames and loves, and the lilies, and the laws and lads, and the dew. And the sugars, and the sugar mountains, and the mountain lily. Blonde lilies, and stars. Rabble rouses, and Dame Antis, and rabble rouses. I don't. Yes. Yes, Bill Thompson. And, well, and Hippler, too. And Hippler. Hippler, too. So, yes. Alrighty, well, let's end it there. Give us things to think about. Didn't want to do a long one, guys. But we shall see what happens. Yeah. I mean, it could easily be shot down. Hitler doesn't want to. Hitler doesn't want to go to trial. Okay, nobody wants to go to trial. They know they got a major problem. But we'll see what happens. I don't know. That's right. Vibrations, baby. Vibrations. Tingling, baby. It's called tingling. Locusts are still flying. I was gonna get back into the Holy Grail, Scott, but not tonight. Not tonight. Not tonight. All right. Well, we'll see what happens. The problem is we should have had a trial. We should have had a trial already. So everybody's afraid to think. And the problem is, look, it doesn't matter. If you have a trial, fine. Show the evidence. Dirk Diggler. Oh my God. I mean, I was coerced. I mean, I don't know. At this point, I don't know. I don't know what Ann Taylor, I'm saying with Ann Taylor, you don't know what she was talking. You don't know. I don't know. Anyway, it's good that she's not a part of this anymore. I think that's good. Or shouldn't be a part of this anymore. So. I mean. I don't know. I mean, if she was playing fucking chess, well, then why does he want a new defense counsel if she's playing chess? I don't think he'd want a different attorney then, if he, believes in her. So no, she ain't fucking playing chess. Hey, Cy-Ray, you're wrong about that. Okay, buddy. Hey, buddy, you're wrong about that. Yeah. She's not playing chess. She never was playing chess. So Cy-Ray, I'm not sure if he's off his medicine this week or what happened to him, but right? Well, yeah, she's playing chess. She's waiting for this ruling to come out in some case down the line that could take 5 years. Come on, give me a break. Cy-Ray, come on, you know better than that. You know better than that, Cy-Ray. I don't know if you're bipolar, manic, or what your deal is, Cy-Ray, but you're wrong about Ann Taylor. For sure. Okay. I know that. Yeah. Anyway, we should go. I love you. I love you, babies. Hope you're having a great Monday, loves. I really do. Remember, reuse content. All right. I know. We are the greatest. But anyway, hang on. Before I go, I just want to show this to you again. Yeah. You've seen it before. But I love you. I love you, babies. I love you. This is what I want to show you. Grabby pants. We can all, hey, here's to a new trial, I hope. I love yous. We'll be back, right? Reuse content and all. But remember this little gem. Donations paused. And this is where we're at, my love. I love you, babies. Especially this part. Yeah. Hey, Dylan. Hey, let's go to trial. Evil Santa Claus. Everybody, let's go, babies. Let's go, babies. Come on now. Come on. Let's go to trial. Let's go to trial.